name is Brian Werke. I'm the Director of Public Safety here at Fridley. And as the bagpipers will start the program, they'll be moving out from the inside the garage to the out. So if anybody is welcome to go out onto the apron of the fire department here and watch. We're gonna, as we present the colors, the Boy Scouts from Fridley Boy Scout Troop 167 will be presenting the colors today. So as we get going and the bagpipes start, please everybody remove your hats. People in uniform and any past or present military personnel should salute, and everyone can put their hands over their hearts. Give a quick round of applause to our Minnesota Fire Service Pipe Band for their playing of the bagpipes today. Did a wonderful job. Thank you to the Boy Scout Troop of Fridley 167 for their flag presentation. And also thank you to Pastor John Newald for his remarks today. First off, our first person to speak today, we have two speakers, and the first one is going to talk is Mayor Lund. And we'd like to, on behalf of the Fridley staff, is to thank him for his leadership, his vision, his community involvement that we have here. And his leadership is something that that can't be replaced by anything. And we see him at every event. You can't get rid of him. No matter where you go, he's always there. And so that's a great thing. And we appreciate his leadership. And with that, I'd like to introduce Mayor Lund from this great city of Fridley.
Of course, I have to move the mic down because he stands about a foot taller, right? So, two observations. Number one, I can't see most of you because I'm too short in comparison. So we should have elevated this maybe so I can see. The other thing is I'm wondering now, with all these visitors here today, did we build this too small? I'd like to, protocols would dictate that I do recognize certain people in the audience. But all of you are very, very important people, so thank you for coming out today. I noticed that our city council members, if you'll give a shout out or say hi, we got Bob Barnett, Ann Balcom, Jim Safety, and Dolores Farachek. Thank you for coming, of course, today. We have two newly elected council members that will be sworn in or sworn at early in January. And that is Tom Tilbury. Raise your hand, Tom. Say hi. And Steve Ager. Also, Senator Carolyn Lane is in the audience. You might have to jump up and down. There she is up front here. And Connie Bernardi, House Representative. Thanks for coming, ladies. And I don't want to be remiss of anybody. I don't know if Mandy Meisner was just elected to the Anoka County Commissioner for our district, and I don't know if she's in the audience or not. Also, the county commissioners wanted to be here. I have not seen any of them there this morning, but they did have another function that they were all committed to this morning as well. But if they're not here in person, they are here in spirit, and they gave me their notice of that several days ago. We also have John Connolly with the Chamber of Commerce. John, where are you? I saw you earlier. There he is in the back. Thanks for coming out. Again, all of you are VIPs this morning. Thank you for coming out to see your new facility. In one single word, it's awesome. And I hope that you share that sentiment with me. This is a proud, historic moment in friendly Fridley. After almost 5 years of efforts, this campus is a result of 4 public meetings, a town hall meeting, and a lot of visionary work. Today it is a reality. We did, as a council, we actually vetted a total of 9 sites, and this one was the ultimate choice, of course. But we took it very seriously, and it took us several months to work through all the positives, the negatives of different assorted sites in Fridley. I think we chose the right site, and I hope that you all agree. There are many numerous features that will be very prevalent to you as you tour today. And there will be staff out there to tell you about all the different features and why this facility is such a great, wonderful, positive effort. I want you to know that this is your city hall, your campus, not just the staff that works here. There are numerous features that we want to engage the public to participate in and enjoy. Out in the back is certainly a wonderful water feature. There is a mall for events. There is a gathering room for the public inside the facility, and you'll see all these today. Beyond this brick and mortar of an asset, this campus is more about a new opportunity to bring positive change for all of us. This campus will continue to build community spirit and pride and move us forward into the next millennium. There will be a future bridge that will span the water feature that you'll see out back, and is a very functional bridge, of course, for a crossing, but it also, to me, is symbolic. This bridge represents bringing community together, and we shall cross it many, many times over as one community. In a few moments, please enjoy the tour of this community asset. I'm sure that you will be well received, and that you will find many positive attributes in this facility. So thanks again for coming out this morning, and I really appreciate all of your investment in your city campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Lund, for those words. Next up, our final speaker is our Community Development Director from the City of Fridley. And I think that if you talk to anybody here in the city that works here, they would tell you that no one has worked harder on this project than Scott Hickok. He, weekends, nights, it didn't matter. This guy put in more time and effort than anybody we had. And I think on behalf of our city staff, I speak for all of them when I want to say thank you to Scott for also his leadership on this project. I know probably outside of his wedding day, this was probably one of his finest days. Maybe his birth of his kids or something like that too. So we're trying to get through this. I know it's cold, but we're Fridley tough, so I know that you guys will be okay. So with that, Scott Hickok, our Community Development Director.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Luke Cardona, our producer today of this event, has told me I've got 7 minutes. So I've completely cut out the part about my growing up in Mankato and my junior high fun that I had. You're not gonna have to live through that. I want to start by saying thank you to the City Council. You've just heard from our mayor. This would not have happened without a wonderful City Council and their leadership, their focus on the direction we needed to go, and also our HRA, our Housing and Redevelopment Authority. They secured this property in order to make this all a reality. What happens then once we have the property, and as the mayor says, we've evaluated 9 parcels? City Manager Wally Weisopel listened to the public. He heard the input. He heard the hundreds of hours of input from citizens, and he said, look, I think that it's clear. I think that we do have direction to do a new civic campus. What will that civic campus involve? It needs to be intuitive to the public. It needs to be able to serve the customer at the highest level. It can't only be a civic campus, but it's also got to be something that is a place to gather, a place where citizens will come in and say, I feel welcome here, I own this, I should be able to hang out here, come and read a book, sit by the fireplace, look out over the pond, spend some time here. And when they come in, they should look around and they should be able to say, wow, this is ours. This is very, very nice. We've waited for it, and it's well worth the wait. Beyond the leadership and the direction, and thank you, Manager Weisopel, for your trust in me, for being the liaison, for bringing this through the project. But I have to tell you that without my counterparts, Chief Werke, Chief Berg, Deb Dahl, Jack Kirk, and Finance Directors Peterson and Tinter, and really a partner through this whole project, Jim Kostlucher, at my side through the entire thing, making great decisions and helping me with those decisions, this wouldn't have happened. Those department heads really were great at analyzing their space needs, understanding this is a gift. We're never going to be able to have an opportunity like this again, but we're not going to take advantage of it in a way that's improper. We're going to make sure that what we ask for is actually sized right and is what the public would expect of us. It needs to be grand, but it can't be ostentatious. We worked through that process. We took in a lot of input from those folks, and they were very, very good at providing that input. I have to say, I also had the input of a very dear friend and resident architect here, John Litchie. John is here today. I saw him. I want to say thank you to John for his resident input and his expertise as a professional architect. Thank you, John. Early on in the process, you were wonderful in telling us what it was from a citizen and an architect perspective, what you were hoping to see. I also want to thank my staff. My staff helped process $750 million worth of development in the 2.5 years that this construction was underway, and they were accepting of the fact that the development director was also going to be doing another task. That's the benefit of having a good staff. They carried on as if this project wasn't even happening, and they were wonderful. I want to thank my family for listening to me talk to myself in the car, in the bathroom, in the shower, in the living room about things that had absolutely no relationship to the time and space that I was in at the time. Jeannie Benson, thank you for helping us get the furniture selections done, the refrigerators purchased, negotiating with the folks at local Home Depot and all to make sure we got the best value for our appliances here, and all of the rooms were served properly. Once we got through kind of the decision making, we needed to go through a competitive process to pick an architect. We picked the firm of BKV Architects, and through this process I've learned about the design process and the intricate details that an architecture firm goes through, and the large group of people that are involved. Not the least of which Mike Critch, a local Fridley, born and raised, I would say a Fridley boy done well. And Mike grew up just north of here and has got to take great pride as he drives by and understands that we had our trust in him to help us design our project for the next 50 to 100 years. I also would like to recognize the long line of staff that came under the BKV banner. Bruce Schwartzman, Kelly Naylor, Mike Critch, Dwayne Jones, Mike Healy, David Horner, Aaron Johnson, Craig Carter, Brady Halverson, Tiffany Scory, Jonathan Butler Knutson, Kyle Olson, Michael Dugan, Chad Curdy, Josh Ortman, Ed Heinen, Larry Ferris, Andrew Cooper with Ortel Architects, Jeff Ortel Architects, Jared Ward with Wink, and Mark Schroeder of Wink. This project would not have happened without the professional direction of them. Let's talk about, for just a brief moment, the project delivery process. We had chosen, through a competitive process, the best, I believe, the best construction management team, construction managers that we could ever have chosen in the McGough Construction Company. They were perfectionists. They promised to bring it in on time and on budget, and they did. In fact, they brought it in on time and under budget. And I can't say enough about the great working relationships that we had with the McGough Company. Chris Weil, Job Superintendent, Bruce Belargent, Job Superintendent, Andy Rasmussen, Greg Hedin, thank you. It was a wonderful project, and you got us through safely, on time, and on budget. You also taught us about meeting management. I have never seen a group that can manage a meeting better, and they did a great job of keeping us safe and ahead of time on that. Finally, I will conclude by saying thank you to McGough, thank you to BKV, thank you to Ortel, thank you to Wink, thank you to all of you for coming today and your trust in us to deliver a project that is yours and we want you to use.
We're ready to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.